I thought it was very provocative and certainly enlightening about all of the, especially the massively open online courses that are out there like Coursera and edX. I thought that Diana Oblinger gave a fantastic overview of what's happening in terms of the technological resources that are available to students and to institutions that can really help to provide a greater quality in terms of their educational experience, certainly a greater interaction, can serve more students, which is what we're very much interested in at the Department of Education, that more students have the opportunity for a quality education, and that not only the opportunity, but that they're successful in terms of actually attaining a degree. As you probably are aware, President Obama at the very beginning of his administration set out a goal that by 2020 the United States would be once again first in the world in college completion. Right now, according to the most recent data from the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, we're number 14 among 36 states, and that certainly is not good enough. It has an economic impact for institution, but it also has a civic impact in terms of students who graduate prepared to be more effective citizens, have a global perspective, can really help be the problem solvers for our nation and internationally. And it also has a social perspective, being able to relate to diverse groups, to be able to think with diverse cultures and manage a sense of diversity and differences in a much more beneficial way. And that, of course, can have a tremendous impact, not just for our nation, but for how our nation is positioned in terms of our global reality. So we're very much interested in this. And these technological resources really have a potential that are not being used to their fullness of reality. And so we want to find ways to use them that drive quality, drive efficiency, so that our college education can be more affordable for students, and also drives a sense of equity, that all students have the opportunity to be successful at the same rate. Well, I think our past presenters have shown that they're not diminished, certainly, and they're really enhanced in terms of their ability to be more successful, because especially those massively open online courses that really engage the interactive methods that can both engage students more with each other, which is one of the greatest advantages of these kinds of experiences, that they create what are called open study groups, where there's a peer-to-peer learning. And if you're learning with 136 nations, if you're learning with students that come from all kinds of diverse cultures, even within your own nation, that perhaps you don't engage with as intensely on a campus. You may, but you may not, depending upon the diversity of your classes, but you have such a greater opportunity to learn with a wider breadth of cultural backgrounds and economic backgrounds that can really expand and open your mind to a whole different level. Well, that is a good question, and I think all the rubrics around credentialing have not been worked out. There are several areas that I think are still being explored, because what has happened is that these resources have developed at a much faster pace than what we've been able to manage in terms of what do they really mean in terms of a college degree. And one of the issues that we're talking about this afternoon, that I'm on a panel this afternoon, is how do we credential learning in the future? And we have to open up that credentialing process from where it is now, where we basically credential it around seat time and the credit hour. All of these opportunities and resources kind of blow open that paradigm and beg the question, how must we be able to credential outcomes and learning and skills and aptitudes in order to manage some of these resources that can really dynamically implode the availability to students, and the ability for us to really monitor what's a quality baccalaureate degree supposed to be. It's certainly not just around how many hours you sat in the seat for how many weeks. There are many standardized tests that are on the market today. Not any of them, I think, are capable of doing that to the degree that we need. So that's another issue. I mean, we have the CLA, the Collegiate Learning Assessment. We have the National Survey for Student Engagement. We have the test that's being developed now, the National Institute for Learning Outcomes Assessment that's being developed now. Some of them are actually students reporting on how they see their own learning. It's a self-reporting system. There's one theory that is prevalent, that tests will not really be reliably accurate in terms of what students know unless there's a stake in it for students. Many of these testing systems, there's not a real stake for students. It's not like they got to pass a board to practice something or to actually get their degree. So the question is, where do we need to go in terms of assessment? That's, I think, one of the key questions here.